these Spitfires are flying in a tight V formation, like the British Grenadiers marching triumphantly shoulder to shoulder. This may look impressive, but it's not that tactically effective. The purpose of formation flying is mutual support and protection. Most aircraft, especially single-seat fighters, have flying areas. Throughout the history of air combat, it's estimated that about 80% of downed fighter pilots failed to see their assailants. So, to avoid surprise attack, formation members must help each other by watching each other's blind areas. This means that you have to keep an eye on the blind area behind your leader or wingman. But when you're flying in a tight formation like this, it's difficult to do so. Especially when you're flying as a wingman, you should constantly adjust your throttle and other controls to maintain proper position and avoid mid-air collision. Simultaneously, you should keep your eyes glued to your leader. It requires so much concentration that you scarcely have time to look behind your leader. There is another problem. You need enough room between the leader and the wingman to spot the enemy before he opens fire.
Right, landed on your tail.
However, when you fly very closely to your leader's plane, your and his blind areas overlap each other right behind the formation. So, if an enemy fighter approaches through this area, neither the leader nor the wingman can spot him. As you can see here, I have very limited view behind my leader's tail. It's blocked by the headrest and the outer fuselage of my plane. It's nearly impossible to spot enemies sneaking up behind us. It can make this Spitfire section an easy prey for German fighters lurking around. Like this. Let's see what actually happened. The Spitfire family is having a quality time down there. Mother Spitfire is teaching her chicks the importance of formation flying.
Now we need to think, fly, and fight with a one-man team. Jerry's going to come out to fight. He's going to come over in quantity. It's one formation against another formation. We've got the firepower, 8 Browning 303 machine guns. Key to the success of these attacks is tight, close, precise formation flying.
Tighten up, Red 3.
As you wish, Red Leader.
Can't stand people dawdling. Closer, closer! This is Red Leader, and in my opinion, you are 4 yards out of position. Are you receiving me, Red 3?
Somebody is watching them from above. A German Warbird, Messerschmitt Bf-109. She is an all-metal monoplane with a liquid-cooled, inverted V12 engine. She is one of the fastest webbers in the world in this period. And she has a formidable 2-centimeter cannon in each wing. She learned her hunting skills in Spain, fighting red hawks. Although outnumbered by the Spitfires, she can fight them on favorable terms, with an altitude advantage and the element of surprise. She positions herself above her prey. Her aim is to close the gap as quickly as possible without being seen.
Moments before impact,
She unleashed formidable 2-centimeter cannon shells. These shells explode when they hit the Spitfire's skin. The German Luftwaffe gained battle experience in Spain before the outbreak of the Second World War. The Spanish Civil War became a testing ground for new weapons and tactics that would serve them well in the years to come. At the early stage of the Spanish Civil War, the fighter units of the German Condor Legion were equipped with the Heinkel HE-51. The standard basic fighter unit at the time was the 3-plane Katten, which was the German equivalent of the RAF section. They flew in a V-shaped formation like the RAF Vic formation. The HE-51 was inferior to the Republican fighters provided by the Soviets. So, the German fighter pilots of the Condor Legion desperately wanted a conversion to a new fighter plane. By the fall of 1937, 2 German fighter squadrons finished the conversion from the HE-51 to the Messerschmitt Bf-109. It caused some teething troubles. The Bf-109 was much faster, but less maneuverable than the HE-51 biplane. 109 pilots found it difficult and sluggish to perform combat maneuvers with 3 109s sticking together. The strength of the BF-109 was speedier speed. To take advantage of that, the BF-109 needed more room to maneuver. So the 109 squadron changed their standard basic unit from 3-plane Kete to 2-plane Rotor and began to fly in a loose formation. Two Rotan made up a Schwarm, which was the German equivalent of the RAF flight. The distance between each plane in the Schwarm formation was about 200 meters. This wide spacing allowed 109 pilots to turn quickly without worrying about mid-air collision. In this way, you can watch each other's back while changing directions. And the Schwarm formation is more difficult to spot in the sky than the Kete formation. Keeping a visual lookout in the Schwarm formation is a lot easier, because due to the wide distance between the planes, you can look behind your flight members without worrying about a mid-air collision. So you can pay more attention to watching behind your teammates. And you can watch others behind your wingman or leader. So you can give them a warning to check their six or to make a break turn before the enemy gets in effective gun range. Now, I've spotted an enemy. Let's pause the screen for a moment and watch it from a different angle. Here, the number 3 plane is being chased by a Spitfire and turning away from the Schwarm leader. The Schwarm leader is here. As mentioned earlier, the distance between the leader and the wingman is 200 meters, which is the approximate turning radius of the BF-109. In theory, when the Schwarm leader turns to the Spitfire, he can immediately get behind it. Let's see if it works from the Schwarm leader's viewpoint. Now, the hunter has become the hunted. I am your father.